There was a remarkable turnaround in market sentiment today. In the first 11 trading days of April, there were 8 falls and 3 rises by the global index. But last night and today, it was almost a buying panic. First because Spain held a bond auction and the interest rate actually fell. Then because the IMF raised its global growth forecasts. And finally because a bunch of American companies reported stronger than expected quarterly profits. European markets were especially strong, and the Nikkei in Japan went up more than 2%. The successful Spanish bond auction lifted spirits, but that doesn't mean they're out of trouble. Spain is suffering a bank run at the moment, so that the banks are having to get more and more money from the European Central Bank to replace their collapsing deposits. Last night's bond auction helps the government, but the real problem in Spain is the banking system. Anyway, the Australian market closed 1.3% higher, led by the resources giants, BHP and Rio Tinto, both up a massive 2.8%. But there were solid gains everywhere, banks and retailers as well. The resources stocks were helped by some better news out of China as well. Even though GDP is falling, the latest manufacturing conditions index suggests that the economic slowdown there might be short-lived. Chinese GDP does tend to follow manufacturing. The Australian dollar rose with the stock markets, as it usually does, but not very much. It was above 104 for much of the day, but slipped back into the 103s towards the end. And today's economic news was a leading index, which predicts economic growth in 6 to 9 months' time. It's the 6th month in a row that it's been below trend, but it's consistent with GDP growth of 3%, in line with that latest IMF forecast. And that's finance.